Hi guys! Jake and Marisa back again for more live reactions to
Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger
versus Keisatsu Sentai Patranger. Pew 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 pew. Pew pew pew. Yeah, I'm gonna keep pew pew. Anyway, hey, we managed to get it right, despite it being very early in the morning.
Well, I went to bed at a reasonable time last night. So.
I did not.
No, because you stayed up watching
the finale of Hyperforce. I watched, we're doing this on, day of early morning, this week because I spent yesterday putting together that, Hyperforce recap video and checking out the
yeah, and then you came to me at like
Hyperforce.
5 or 6 o'clock at night and you're like, hey, you want that? I'm like, no. You're
no,
like,
no.
Morning? And I'm like, okay.
Well, it was mostly I was just confirming because I was still working on things and I had to run.
Oh, okay. I didn't even give him a chance to explain the rest of it. I was just like, no.
I don't know what you were up to.
I was very busy.
Uh-huh.
I had a thing going on in Elder Scrolls Online. With my guild.
Okay. Anyway.
You have your hobbies, I have mine.
I know.
I love the way you just rolled your eyes at me, though. Like, my hobby is so much less important.
Oh, you did not give me any sort of heads up or anything.
I didn't know I was going to be doing it.
Okay.
We were in the middle of a swap meet.
We don't need to talk about this right here. I'm just saying. This is our weekly thing.
Yeah, and you didn't do it, like, all day. It's like...
Fair enough. But we'd still do it every week. You know about that.
And sometimes we do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Which we are.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so Hyperforce finished up its first season. You are ridiculous. And, I'm not going to give any context for that. I'm learning context. Context does nothing good right now. Anyway.
I'm a little silly because it's early in the morning.
But yeah, they had their big... They went full cliffhanger. They went full cliffhanger, not going to say what.
I didn't see it, but he told me in the morning.
Yeah.
But he's not going to tell you, because spoilers.
Yeah. They need more Twitch support, and we want a season 2.
Yeah.
So go check out
season 2. Go give them tips. Because
go check out Hyper RPG on Twitch, so that we can have a season 2 and people's hearts aren't like all ripped.
Shattered and broken.
Yeah.
Because apparently, I mean, the problem here wasn't viewership. It was just that Power Rangers fans aren't very Twitch savvy.
Yeah, we're new. I'll put it this way: Power Ranger fans are not used to the sort of media where you're kind of paying as you go. We're used to finding ways to watch things that are not necessarily available in other means.
But in this case, their only source of income, their financing for the program, is the subscriptions and the bits on Twitch.
Yeah,
they're not making much off of the YouTube reruns.
Yeah, exactly.
So
they definitely need the direct from the audience contributions.
Yeah, they need PR fans to get with the Twitch.
Yep.
And the way that Twitch works.
Yeah. So obviously there's no more live shows, but there's still like video and on demand
and you haven't played it yet.
And other things.
Okay. Drop them in. Drop them a little money.
Yeah.
To make season 2 fiscally viable.
Yes. So fingers crossed on Hyperforce getting a season 2 because they've done some interesting explorations of the mythology. The characters are very well fleshed out by the player cast.
Like, I barely watched it. I watched it, like, when you were watching it in the living room, and I still think they did it. Like, I was becoming attached to various and sundry characters through peripheral watching. That should tell you how well the players were doing at fleshing out their characters.
Yeah.
Also, Malika is awesome.
Yeah, I've
as somebody who plays a lot of tabletop gaming, I'm looking at her and going, that is a GM who knows how to GM.
I'm glad I was able to get caught up in time for the finale and in time to make the recap video, even if the recap video came out like 3 hours before the finale.
Well, a lot of that was due to the mic hum.
Yeah, my mic freaked out the other day, and I don't know.
You had to re-record it like, what, 4 times?
Something like that.
To find a spot in the apartment where the mic wasn't adding this weird hum to the audio.
Yeah, I thought I had eliminated it like on two different occasions, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It was very strange.
And even the internet didn't help. It was just like sometimes your
Well, no, that was the help I needed. It's just like, okay, maybe I didn't plug in the mic right this time. Re-record. Okay, no. Okay, maybe my laptop's too close to it. Okay, no.
Nope.
Re-record. Okay.
Hum zone.
And yeah, there was just a weird electromagnetic spot that was messing with my, and so I just moved the mic. Like,
I mean, it did help in that it told you to move the mic a little bit, but it did not explain why moving the mic to the side.
So weird.
Or how you would even find a hum zone.
Apart from just recording there, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so enough of that. Like
Our
I said,
show is in the same spot it's always been, so hopefully no hum zone today.
Yeah.
Let's watch Patranger.
Yes.
What?
You rooted for the Patrangers.
I didn't root for them. I said, let's watch them.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
I don't root for Dr. Phil either, but, you know, I watched him because it's a train wreck and I can't look away. And to be perfectly honest, right now, Kichiro is a train wreck and I can't look away.
Fair enough. So, this week it is episode 11 of
Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger.
This is Keisatsu Sentai Patranger. We'll continue shooting no matter what.
Oh god. That sounds like Kichiro going even further off the rails.
Play.
Kichiro
Magical
is taking
sound.
police lessons from Elliot Stabler.
Come on, load up. Is it not going full screen? There it goes. Full screen.
Is this like a in-world commercial for the...
Yeah, I think so. I don't know why this is not full screening.
Don't know why they're having to do this in an office lady outfit.
Okay, apparently full screen is just not going to work today. That's weird.
Can we shrink it back down if it's not going to get any bigger so we don't have this great big white glare?
Weird. Okay.
It's better off this way than it is with the big white glare.
Alright. Weird. Just doesn't want a full screen today. Very strange.
I can read. Can you read?
Yeah, I can read. It's just a little smaller than usual. Very strange.
We're good.
For some reason we hit full screen and it just moved to the corner of the screen and the rest of the screen was white.
I'm pretty sure they could see it in the reflection because it was causing a great big white glare.
Yeah. What? Okay.
Keiichiro can't act!
So apparently they're in a cop show to work up goodwill. Because they recognize the Lupinrangers are more popular than they are.
He really wants to be on TV.
This is ridiculous. So apparently they're battling against
I'm sorry, I was blowing my nose. Did he say gumbo?
I believe so.
It translated as work hard.
Look like the guys with no faces and the hats look kind of like the henchmen from Tokyo. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of that.
It's a wheel. Is that the wheel from RPM?
I think it is.
Or, excuse me, from...
Let's see if you know.
Oh, I don't know! Power Ranger?
They literally plastered it on the side of a bus.
Go on, Ja!
Go on, Jay.
It's the wheel from Go on, Ja.
On the side of an RV. Not good.
He's the one who's lacking.
Really? What? Oh my. Okay. I'm pretty sure the director is an alien. He just gender flipped Sakuya.
They're real! It's gone.
Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Mysterious treasures left by the Phantom Thief. Awesome. That's a mysterious. Have been stolen by the ganglers. Oh yeah, they did. The police who fight to protect world peace. Whose side are you on? Oh my. Yami no nakade futeki ni wa aru silhouette kono shutai shirotieru catch me if you can inni yokoku saru honto no ichi wo rikasu monataki ni hikari hanatsu mongai fushutsu no collection
Hold up,
Lupin karenai mau chase you up Keisaku Kushinashi Toki wo tankasu tame daiaru wawase
Hold up,
Lupin same tekeru chase you up Sanatsu nedu Azayaka ni Lupinranger Showdown. Our timing's still...
My timing's off, but I'm getting the actual song right.
Yeah, we're getting...
For once.
What?
Kind of like like when you were filming the thing.
Yeah. Last week.
Here's the thing. If he is suddenly legitimately and actually a girl,
yeah,
they should have done a little bit more about his facial hair.
Does he have any facial hair?
He has a bit of a shadow.
Okay.
A little bit more foundation, that's all.
And,
that being said, I do believe this is the first time I've seen it in Sentai where someone has actually been gender flipped, as opposed to just costume gender flipped.
it's obviously the director. So apparently we will keep shooting no matter what is referring to filming, despite the fact that that feels like it's the mission statement of the Patrangers.
Yeah. We've got a continuity problem.
What's up?
He says we should keep going, no matter what.
Oh my.
Oh good, at least it's flats.
They gave him his new outfit. Okay. He's all decked out. His voice is also still the same. Gasa is definitely uncomfortable. Okay.
Okay, but we have...
Obviously the director's behind this.
Right, but we still have a continuity problem here if they filmed any scenes previous to this.
It's reshoots. Reshoots.
A lot of them.
A lot of reshoots. Or else I'll have an in-plot reason that he was replaced by his identical twin sister. Very.
She's having personal problems. I can't
drag you two into this. He is so uncomfortable. He is very uncomfortable. Hit the Lupinrangers.
Yeah, they gave themselves away by laughing.
They just can't.
Oh no, excuse me. Very specifically, Kaitou gave them away by laughing.
Hey.
Speaking of, we keep shooting no matter what.
These are human people that you are shooting at. Like.
Just for laughing at you on the set.
How they want to shoot the Lupinrangers. This is ridiculous.
Oh!
He's even got the skirt. Okay, apparently,
Dude, if your suit has just adjusted to your feminine form, why are you complaining about the chest area being too tight?
I guess Tsukasa just probably experiences the same thing and just doesn't complain.
Well,
okay,
of course. They're being active, so he's probably getting some regular old sports bra compression out of this.
Yeah.
Which is normal. And now Kichiro is also a girl.
Oh my.
And Tsukasa isn't.
This is so bizarre. Yep. This is very strange. Magica, yep. What?
Everybody fall down?
This is a very strange collection piece. Okay.
Better suited to a farcical comedy than an action movie.
Okay.
Maybe his collection piece has something to do with farce, because this is a farce.
I guess he's got some sort of, maybe he's got like a magic clapboard, like Cinecon back in Time Force.
That would do it.
Oh my god, the sparkles.
We've got some serious continuity problems.
You are clearly the gangler. Like.
And if you're not, you have some real issues.
It's very strange. Propaganda film?
How fearsome us ganglers are. So the ganglers are doing that.
Oh my god, the monster's name is Pitchcock. And now she's got short hair. This is ridiculous.
Okay, I gotta tell you something. Usually I really like it, you know, when they cross-dress the cute guys, but I gotta tell you, Tsukasa in a suit?
Well, she's the only one who doesn't look like ridiculously awkward also.
Tsukasa doesn't look that ridiculous, but they were my heroes.
Okay.
He just called him those stuff.
Yeah. He is never top of the class, it seems. Get Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, that's funny because she says that as she's looking off up here instead of at him.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. You may be upset and crying, but it's because you care.
Keiichiro needs contouring.
No, I also joined up to get the girls.
You didn't have to rebuke that quite so hard. Okay.
Yeah.
You shoot everything from the beginning. Yes, you do. We have serious continuity problems.
Yep.
At least Wardrobe's got Keiichiro, right?
Yes, that director is clearly suspicious. Like...
I mean, if Keiichiro was a woman, he would be one of those beige, long skirt women.
Fair enough.
He's got, like, that level of...
What's happening? Okay. Okay. Keiko now instead of Keiichiro. Sakimi instead of Sakuya. That
Yeah, it
works
does.
out. Yeah, Tsukasa. Yeah, it works either way.
That name works either way to the point where for a while there I was unsure if 2 or 3 was Tsukasa.
Okay, so the stuntmen are really Portermen.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there we go. They just decided to drop all pretense now.
But, like, Tsukasa's got some major Oran High School Host Club stuff going on over there, and I'm just like... What?
This is all very strange.
No. I'm about
Yeah.
2/3 the size I used to be because they took a whole third of me out by brushing. Hello.
That's where the giant massive fur came.
Oh no.
Oh no. He's
not a
not,
gangler.
is he? He's just insane. Is the cameraman? Ah. Okay. They did seem to make it a little too obvious.
In the tradition of Criminal Minds, the director would be called the unschmuck.
Fair enough.
You think
His women's intuition.
is he allowed to say that?
So the director is just insane.
Yep.
He never even like.
Dude, your cameraman is the monster. There's no. Nobody's filming anymore.
You don't even have a crew. They were all ganglers. Also, why are you fighting the Lupinrangers right now? Stop that.
Because Keiichiro told them to. Because he's an idiot.
Stop fighting the Lupinrangers. They're doing nothing to harm you.
He's an idiot? No, I'm gonna go with hate, because his identity is still as a dude. He's not happy about this, so he's still a hate.
Yes, they can't slip on banana, can't do a banana peel slip when, It's apparently some sort of slip attack that he can do.
It makes them all fall on their backs.
Yeah. How's the
kind
tire?
Of hydroplaning?
Yeah.
But that does beg the question.
How does that relate to...
Okay, so that's his actual ability. Without the...
Okay. Okay. That is a very...
That is his inherent ability, because he did it after they took the Lupin collection piece.
Really?
Scene's over.
Apparently those megaphones are useful. This is... I have no reason. I have no understanding of the reason for why the monster just was doing gender flipping.
I'm gonna go with it did affect their capability to fight because they were inordinately distracted by that.
Fair enough.
Okay, maybe not inordinately. Depends on how attached you are to your gender. But they clearly were very attached and therefore very effective.
Hey, goody. Today I'm feeling like Lupinrangers for, because Bad Rangers went last time, basically.
He said, today I'm feeling like, and then
Kyrie just
grabbed him. So he was like, no, you don't get to choose.
Yeah. Let's steal victory.
I love those cockpits.
This feels like an episode where really the Power Rangers deserve.
Should be, yeah.
It's very strange.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe that's why they wrote Kyrie just snatching him, because otherwise it would have made sense for Goody to choose the Patranger Rangers.
Yeah. This is the second time in a row now that it really would have made more sense for Pat Kaiser to be the mecha. I guess they want to plug them those blade and scissors.
Oliver, I don't know what you're crying over. It's still like an hour before breakfast.
Whoosh. Snippity snip. Oh no, what's he gonna do? Okay. What? Why? What?
Rabbits have genders.
Okay. Okay. What?
Is this funny?
I don't know.
Or will it go back after he's dead? And can you buy the hammer at the toy store?
Oh, almost certainly. I can't think of any other reason they'd introduce it other than it's something that they can actually sell.
There goes Team Rabbit blasting off again.
So, okay, so it was just a one-off. That was really weird.
Oh, they're still in the wrong clothes.
What is your deal, dude?
He's you. Now he's you. He has no crew. He just has his camera, and he's gonna make a movie.
This is very strange. Nice. This is the finished product. Fantastic.
Because they refuse to film anymore, it's probably the gender swap version. That's why he's saying, I think I look good. I think Kichiro is attracted to his gender flip self. What is this young boy's wish? It would appear to be to run.
So.
And it would appear that he wants to run because somebody else can't.
Yeah,
his friend with the wheelchair. It's like, I'm going to be the legs for both of us. Maybe it was never his dream to begin with. Maybe it was his friend's dream. And then his friend lost his, like, walking capability. And he's like, I will do it for you.
The four Patrangers. I mean, the writers just delight in making them just walking disasters.
As I said before we started watching this episode,
yeah,
Kichiro is a train wreck, and I can't look away.
Oh man, they...
Again, Tsukasa and
Sakuya.
Tsukasa and Sakuya didn't come off all that bad in this.
Fair enough. I mean, even Kichiro isn't really any worse than his usual self.
I'm not just talking about his costume in the flip. I'm saying that he seemed to be the most personally offended by the situation. Not only when he got flipped, but also when Sakuya was flipped. He was like, "Oh my god!"
Like, this is so weird. I mean, he rolled with it, you know, after the point, but it was still like. Yeah, this is just they decided they wanted to have a cross-dressing episode.
I mean, yeah, Japanese shows do that a lot.
It was,
Too bad it wasn't like the one in Kyuranger. Well, not the Garu one in Kyuranger.
Which one are you thinking of?
The one where, I forget what her name was.
What, Hammy?
No. No, the counterpart to,
Who?
Ray.
Counterpart to Ray.
Is his name Ray? God.
I'm not sure what you're referring to right now.
Silver's female counterpart from his planet.
Oh, okay. Okay, Echidna.
Echidna, that's her name.
Yeah. Well, that was definitely different in that the idea was that it's a species that
all look the same.
All look the same.
But also, you know, they did it without the attempt at comedy, so.
Yeah. But this is only the second Sentai that we've done the live reactions for, and second in a row where there's a gag of a forced gender switch, which is strange.
I honestly would not be surprised if that's a standard part of the, like, right up there with, you know, the Sento episode.
Yeah. Sento? Oh, what, like, the spa episode?
Well,
or
either
Hot Springs episode?
I was going to say, sometimes it's Sento, sometimes it's a non-sen. It depends. But the point is that there's always, they like to try and shove an episode in there where somebody's in the bath.
Yeah.
Be it the Hot Springs bath or the...
I will admit that the Hot Springs in Q-Ranger was amusing. That it's just like, you have these 12 challenges or whatever.
One of them is the Hot Springs.
And one of them is, you just need to stay in the Hot Springs for like 20 minutes.
So hot.
That was ridiculous.
Hey, they were sweating their butts off. And I'm not even sure if Raptor can sweat.
I don't think she was sure either, if I recall correctly.
Anyhow, no, the cross-dressing episode is probably a standard part of the,
one of their, like, stock plots kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it... We've moved in American culture to a point where that's not really acceptable.
Yeah.
Because it makes fun of trans people in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be a big part of a lot of Japanese media. Yeah. Although it varies whether or not they're going for comedy, like they did in this case, or whether the plot line involves a Bishoujo being dressed up as a girl and all of the girls fawning over how much prettier he is than they are.
Mm.
And they're, oh, so pretty.
They were not doing that with Sakuya and Keisatsu.
No, they were not. They were not. But I think that's what they were trying to invoke with Echidna.
Now you see, I could see Kairi pulling off that look.
Yes. Yes.
But Keiichiro and Sakuya are both, like, just as people, extremely awkward.
Yes. And then, well, I'm sure that they were playing up the awkwardness.
Yeah,
as well,
exactly.
Because, I mean, they were both... It was very clear that in this case, first of all, it wasn't cross-dressing, so they weren't trying to pass.
Right.
They were thrust into this unwillingly. In fact, it's actually kind of, in this particular case, almost a good analog for trans people, because people are always saying, oh, well, you know, he became a she, and then the thing. But really, it's more like he was in the position that the Patrangers are in, where they're going,
in the wrong body.
I swear I'm a dude! What's going on here?
Yeah.
And really uncomfortable and not happy about it.
Although, Sakuya seemed pretty cool with it. He was taken off guard, but then he was just like,
as far
I'm gonna roll with
as I
this.
can tell, Sakuya was just willing to roll with anything at that point. Because remember, at the beginning of this movie, he was like, well, at the beginning of the episode, he was like, movie, 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 I want to be in the movie, I want to movie. So he's like, you know what? I'm not letting this stop me. I'm in a movie. I'm gonna go for it.
But yeah, they didn't.
Whereas Keiichiro, when that happened, he almost like stopped functioning.
Well, he was I think he was mostly. Well, he had his freak out moment just like Sakuya did. But he was definitely freaked out by Sakuya though, more than Sakuya was.
Well, definitely. I was more referring to when Keiichiro got changed in the middle of the battle and was just like,
but that is
anymore.
That is definitely something to kind of throw you off in the moment. We had sort of a time skip for Sakuya after his initial... He got a moment. And then
it was funny that when they
Keisatsu didn't seem to complain about it after that point.
He was just like, too tight. It's like, yeah, well, there's going to be support in your suit. Otherwise, they're going to be flying all over the place. Speaking of which, why do their breasts have sound effects?
I don't know.
Nobody else's breasts have sound effects. Like, Tsukasa's breasts don't have sound effects.
I don't know. I don't know. This is very, I think one of the weird things is that the gender flip played so little part really in the plot apart from just happening. It's just like, this is a weird thing. Yep.
Moving on.
This is a weird thing. Because, like...
The only thing... Well, I mean, it did have a little bit of influence on the meta plot in that it definitely started us off characterizing the director as probably a gangler.
Yeah, that's true. I assumed that it was the director just because I did not think they were going for... This is not a subtle show, so I didn't think they were going for a bait and switch.
But then when he was just like, no human would ever do that, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, they finally...
Uh-oh.
It's like, okay, so that...
Then they just very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Confidently and without any hesitation said that no human would ever do that. You found the one human who would.
Yeah. That director was a really weird guy who somehow just happened to hire a bunch of ganglers or something. Who's his producer?
Maybe the producer was a gangler, and he happened to hire a human director for some reason.
But wait, how did anything get produced with that? So no, the producer must have just been a normal guy because it still got produced.
Well,
so
no, hang on. That might have been the original producer. As I said, afterwards.
Oh, what, they might have shopped it around after it?
No, I mean, the director just picked up and carried on.
And what, he became the producer after that, I guess?
And the editor and everything. That's why I was like, look, he's you now. He has no crew, he has a camera, and he's going to make a movie.
Yeah. That was definitely a silly, goofy episode. It was mostly, when I say that it didn't really seem to have it, it was odd on a number of points in that, the monster had two abilities that had nothing to do with one another.
I mean, that makes sense in that
one is an innate ability. But I mean, even thematically, like you're a movie making monster, and your power is you make people fall down.
He did keep mentioning farces.
Oh wait, no. He making people fall down, I think, was the tire. You're a movie making monster whose specific ability is
to gender flip. Now see, that's weirder. If the gender flip had come from the item and the banana peels had been part of him, that would have made more sense.
Yeah, or if he had like a physical comedy innate ability.
Where I was going with the physical comedy innate ability, the banana peel.
But no, it was just slipping, which is really specific, and just gender flips, which is really. There are two oddly specific abilities that have no real thematic commonalities with his main gimmick of being a movie guy. And yeah, that was strange.
Why?
And because it's not like this episode was about gender.
Not at all.
It was just something that was just a weird inconvenience for the
Patrangers.
For the Patrangers. And they it wasn't related to anything else that they had going on in their lives apart from it just being a weird inconvenience.
Yep.
It kind of changed the movie, but like.
Only that they had to keep going back to the drawing board because of continuity issues.
Yeah, like. Okay, maybe you want more women in your movie, but then the second change was just.
A man for a woman and a woman for a man, and that doesn't help.
Yeah, it didn't change the gender balance or anything.
Something's not right with my neck. I slept on it weird.
We need better representation in this film. Because it wasn't even necessarily about more women in the movie, because after Sakuya,
any further flips were just one for one.
If it was just like Sakuya and Keiichiro, then it would have been. It could have been something about
Charlie's Angels. That's what it would have been.
Exactly. But then Tsukasa became a guy too, just to round out the swaps. And it's just like, okay, I don't get what the deal is with your power apart from it's just kind of weird people. Your power is basically just kind of weirding people out for like a few minutes.
Like, I was honestly thinking that he had a Lupinranger collection piece, or a Lupin collection piece.
Yeah.
That was similar to the Dungeons and Dragons belt of gender switch. And I was like,
that's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that for like infiltrations and whatnot, or?
I'm not really sure.
It's just an item that exists.
There's a lot of items that exist.
Okay.
That just exist. I mean, keep in mind there's a bag that you can pull like a rhinoceros out of. So.
Yeah. I also don't. No, that seems like that would actually be useful in battle. You just pull out a rhinoceros and just charges your enemy, and nobody sees that coming.
Well, here's the thing. It's wild rhinoceros. You can't control it.
Oh, you can point it, I would imagine. And it's just going to charge the moment it figures out a way out.
It's called a bag of tricks.
Fair enough.
Oh, you also don't know you're getting a rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rhinoceros is just one of the things on the list of the things you could be pulling out of the bag of tricks.
Okay. But yeah.
A large-sized bag of tricks, because a small-sized bag of tricks would not hold a rhinoceros.
I will admit the little bit of backstory for Sakuya was appreciated. I do like these little trips to the apartment.
That
backstory
flashback was nice.
Except
for the fact that Tsukasa was like off in the distance, like
she's like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to inspire you.
Yeah, basically. To me, it almost looked like one of those.
Are you inspired?
It almost looked like sometimes in anime.
Oh, he's just looking right down at me from the cat tree, like
they like take people out of context and they just put them on like a sparkly background or whatever with like a rose overlay or whatever. It looked like she thought she was in one of those.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of were in parts of this episode.
Yeah, but not in that part. And it's like she thought she was in that. Because also when they start overlaying people like that, you realize that the anime quote-unquote camera is at different angles.
Come to think of it now, I guess, is Keisatsu the only one we don't have Department of Backstory for so far?
Yes.
I mean, we've seen him in flashbacks, but they've been other people's...
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, we got a little bit of...
we still have no idea why he has such a stick-up spot.
Yeah, no, we got flashbacks with his him being at the academy and his sort of interactions with Tsukasa.
Yeah.
But because it was sort of driving home that his job is supposed to be focused on protecting people, which honestly since that episode he's been focusing on less and less.
Yeah, no, he is becoming Javert.
And it was actually in that episode too where he was supposed to be. Keitaro was basically spending that episode supposedly learning that it's more important to save innocent people than it is to chase the Lupinrangers.
Didn't seem to stick.
But that did not stick at all, and he's actually gotten worse since then.
Yep.
So that's a little disappointing. Keitaro, I will admit though, Keitaro is definitely his character is best as sort of the deadpan.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's like he's... I swear,
I'm a lady cop.
I swear, like, he has gone to the Elliot Stabler School of Police Officers.
Yeah. And I mean, at least with Stabler, like...
You haven't watched more recent seasons.
Fair enough. But...
Back in the day, he made some sense, but then he made less and less and less and less sense.
Okay, but even considering that, like, his specific unit, the types of perps that they deal with are very screwed up and monstrous people.
Yes.
The Lupinrangers are just kind of,
Well, that's why I was saying he's turning into a Javert.
Yeah, he's definitely...
Because Kyrie is his own personal Jean Valjean.
He's definitely more of a Javert than he is a Stabler.
He's still a loaf of bread.
Stabler is at least... The slippery slope is clear there in terms of him just getting more extreme in his methods in a world of very sick and twisted people.
Yeah, but the thing is at one point he just went off the rails entirely and it had nothing to do anymore with the cases or anything. It was just that he was just lashing out.
Oh, he also had various other issues, I know.
Yeah, like his personal stuff made him just start lashing out at everyone, and then they took him off the he got fired or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. Now we've got...
But Keijiro never really gets called out on this. She just keeps rolling on that show, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. Well, I'm pretty sure if she left, the show would go under.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's like the Lenny Briscoe of SVU.
Yeah.
I mean, is regular Law and Order even still on?
No, it ended around the time that Law and Order LA came out.
Yeah,
which lasted for a season.
It kept going for a little while after it lost Lenny, but it really couldn't after, it just kind of coasted to a halt.
Actually, come to think of it...
You take Goran Vrščínek off of Criminal Intent and try and replace him with Jeff Goldblum, and that doesn't work either.
I realized... Actually, I think I may have figured out this episode.
Okay.
It's a meta-commentary. It's a meta-commentary... It's a meta-commentary on the director just wanting a gender flip episode with no supporting reasons, and the writers basically playing directors off as insane for asking for that. That's what this episode was. This was totally just the writers making fun of the directors.
That is actually kind of funny if that's the case.
I think that it's the thing that makes the most sense.
It is.
Because the director was, presented as clearly insane with no explicit reason for wanting this. And I'm like, what if that's actually what happened in the show? Because let's face it.
Now, if that's what happened
directors
in the show, do you think the director had any idea?
I don't know. He may have just, you know what, he might have, and still just ran with it because he got what he wanted, because he was getting what he wanted. Which again, same thing. It's like, this guy's like, okay, I don't know how this just happened, but you know what? I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to roll with it. I'm getting what I want for my movie.
We have to do some reshoots, though.
I'm getting what I want for my movie. Why do I want this? Because I'm just a weird guy who wants these things. But, you know what? Heart wants what it wants. So I'm going to go with this. But it's very strange. Because,
That's what it wants. Isn't that Babylon 5?
It's a phrase. It's a common phrase. I'm sure they probably said it in Babylon 5 because...
Yeah, the Minbari do that a lot.
Because plenty of characters have said that throughout media over time.
Nice. Don't say it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but, because, sometimes directors like to focus on weird things. Like, one of the things that's kind of a running gag with people who, have noticed these patterns in Sentai. And I don't know, I don't generally spot it that well. A tendency for certain shots to be very much at thigh level. There's definitely some male gaze going on in plenty of the fight scenes.
Yeah.
I don't usually notice it in the midst of the fight scenes because I'm more focused on the action. But I'm sure that it's there because it's been treated as kind of a running gag.
I mean, if you look at this sort of the thing, and then there's sort of a differently colored stripe before the
yeah.
That is invoking thigh highs that don't meet the skirt.
Right. Apparently that's something that...
and then this gap right here, they call that the...
it's like the Zettai Ryuki or something.
Whatever that is.
I'm butchering it, I know.
Is an incredibly...
It's...
That's an important zone.
It's enough of a thing that it has a name.
Yeah.
But apparently that was something that people made fun of Koichi a lot for when he directed Kyuranger. Or not Kyuranger, Kyoryuger. What you're looking for the name?
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. I know it's in TV tropes.
Yeah. Zeta Ryoki.
Yeah, I was pretty close. Ryoki. I said Ryuki. Ryuki is definitely different. I don't know what Zettai Ryuki would translate into. So what, Zettai is absolute, Ryoki is territory, I guess?
Yes, and the thing that I knew is that the absolute territory is actually an Evangelion reference.
I guess Zettai Ryuki would be absolute Dragon Knight.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh.
The Taiketo Ryuki would be the absolute terror field.
Oh.
Translation, AT field.
Interesting. That term originates from Ava. I did not realize
before
that.
I pulled this up.
Yeah, well, I thought you were saying that it was used in Ava, but I didn't realize what you were meaning there, and that it actually...
The idea of a holy area upon which no one can tread.
Wow. That... People took that term and they changed it up.
Somewhere else entirely.
That's...
Anyhow, so it's, it's like the forbidden zone here. It's like, ooh.
So wait. Does that mean that, like, if you were to touch a woman's thigh, she turns into Tang?
No, it means if you touch a woman's thigh, you turn into Tang.
Is that how that works? I thought it was if
because AT fields can go up against each other, AT field to AT field.
Right. Okay.
Because the AT field is actually, like, psychologically speaking...
It's supposed to be the separation between souls or something.
Yes, which is stronger in some people than in others, which is basically people's various and sundry emotional walls.
Yeah.
So some people are able to get closer to other people without feeling the absolute terror, and some people have to keep more of a distance because their AT walls are bashing up against each other. But that's beside the point.
There's so much symbolism.
Yeah, we could do a whole other thing on Evangelion.
They just kind of overdose on symbolism.
Point being, lately the girl suits have had color gaps that evoke the Zuki.
Actually, come think of it, you should. I feel like you would enjoy Razafon.
Probably.
That's an anime I watched a few years back. It's.
People kind of did the theme, so.
It's similar to Ava, but emotionally, the opposite, basically.
Okay.
So it's about rising up and embracing.
Yay, Deki!
As opposed to sort of crazy despair.
But to bring it back around to Sentai, the whole point was that the girls' suits have been evoking that with their color stop,
mini-skirts.
And then the mini skirt that picks the color up again. Whether that stripe is white or black, it tends to be there.
Yeah. Well, it's not all. Sometimes the skirt. Well, many times actually, the skirt will match the pants and the boots.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm just saying the color change is not always there.
Lately, it has been, is what I'm pointing out.
I don't think it wasn't. I don't think it is for the Lupette. See, her skirt and her pants are the same color.
Oh, you're right.
And same thing, technically with yellow too.
Was it Kaitou that had that then?
Entirely possible. Kaitou had a lot of costume variation.
No, it wasn't Kaitou.
Something
we've watched recently, I was just like, hey!
I mean, Go Busters. Because basically the if I recall correctly, they all have the black pants and the colored jacket, but with
That's not the one I'm thinking of either.
Okay.
Wait, what's...
You might be thinking Ninja Steel.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's the Ninja Steel. Ninja Steel has that have the...
Yeah, they do.
See?
They really do.
Which was, I'm sure, taken over from the Sentai it was related to.
Yeah, actually, they really...
They have a serious case of...
I hadn't really been looking at the boots, but they have differently styled boots from the guys, which I hadn't actually noticed until now.
Yeah, they go all the way up in order to create...
I mean, because as I've said before, how often do you look at a man's shoe?
Lol.
Well, although in this case it's women, but women's shoes. But anyway, all right. So I guess our cue to skidoo.
Hang on, let me turn this off.
But yeah, this was definitely a wacky
that
episode.
term actually popping into my head when I saw the costumes. So
yeah.
it was Power Rangers, and I was like,
yeah.
Of course they did.
It's definitely more noticeable in those costumes.
And it was deliberate. I'm sure it's deliberate.
I really want the Patrangers to get more heroic and stop being always the joke team, because they really are still being treated as the joke team.
They are the joke team.
Yeah.
Too bad. Deal with it.
Well, it'd be I could deal with it if they were. I would prefer, in terms of balancing things out, if we've got the heavily developed team of mischief makers.
Mm-hmm.
They're the plot drivers, and then the other team is more the joke team.
Mm-hmm.
But considering their roles, I'd prefer if the joke team was at least, if it was counterbalanced by a level of earnestness.
Earnestness.
What's the actual term?
For what?
Is it not earnestness?
It is, but you mispronounced it.
Okay. A level of earnestness that that basically acts as a counterpoint. It's like, yeah, they're the joke characters, but they're really dedicated to doing good things, whereas the main characters are a little bit more morally ambiguous. But right now, the Lupinrangers have the moral high ground.
Yes, they do.
And so it makes it just weighs things so much more heavily on their side. It's kind of an imbalance in the show, and it's probably one of the main weaknesses of the show right now, is that the Patrangers are not being given the ability to really be heroes. Especially in these last two episodes, where in the previous episode they just stopped chasing the monster after it went big, and they didn't bother trying to summon the Megazord in this episode either.
Well, they might have tried.
In both these cases, they are not taking active efforts to actually defend the city when it's in danger from the giant monsters.
No, instead they stopped to make a propaganda film.
And instead they seem to be attacking the Lupinrangers to the exclusion of their other duties.
Which is a problem, because they're supposed to be protecting the world from ganglers.
So I'm frustrated by that recurring trend at this point. I was hoping that with a focus episode it would shift away, but they just seem to be doubling down on it. So that's my biggest issue with the series right now. Otherwise, it's a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to learn more about these characters as we keep diving through their backstories, which is nice. We're getting good character focus, but the Patrangers are not coming off as particularly strong heroes for the most part.
No, they're not.
And a lot of that comes down to Keiichiro. Sakuya and Tsukasa both are pretty...
They're actually compelling and well-developed characters.
Yeah, Tsukasa is by the book, and she has a soft side. Sakuya is that
young,
he's got the goofy earnestness.
Yes, he does.
And Keiichiro is just...
I'm a cop.
I'm a cop. And he's got the funny deadpan, but his focus is all out of whack, and it's throwing the whole team out of whack. But yeah, you gotta get to work. I've got stuff to do today. So until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. Hey, dude looks like a lady.